Dear students, we will take up the next problem on capital gain. We can go through the problem. From the following particulars of capital assets sold by Mr. Kishan during the previous year 2018-19, compute his gross total income for the assessment year 2019-20. Okay, so now here they have given capital assets that he has purchased, okay, and the sale proceeds amount they have given. So let us write down the amount of that. Residential house purchased. Residential house purchased on on they have given in the problem with the change of sale. Date of purchase, date of sale, the first thing we need to observe for how many days a particular capital asset is used. Okay, if it is used for less than 36 months, we have to consider to be a short-term capital asset. If it is used for more than 36 months, we should consider it as long-term capital asset. These are the various dates that are given. Further information what they have given: during the year, Mr. Kishan purchased a new residential house for rupees 40,000. Okay, so now here new residential. Residential house for rupees 40,000. Deposited rupees 50,000 of the sale proceeds of the above agricultural land in a specified bank under the notified scheme within the specified date. So sale proceeds in a specified. His other taxable income for the year amounted to rupees 40,000. Okay, so these are the other information that is given. The cost inflation index for the financial years 2009, 10, 11, 11, 12 and 18, 19 are given. So we can write it down. CII it is 160. For 2011, 12 it is 184. It is for 2018, 19 it is 280. Okay, so this is the problem. So now we will prepare the computation of gross total income and his taxable capital gain. Okay, so first we will take up the first capital asset, that is residential, as on 1st January 2011 for rupees 32,000 and sold on 31st March 19. Okay, the sale proceed value is 1,82,388. So that has to be recorded over here. So sale proceed of residential house that is 1,82,388. Okay. Now we have to index it. Okay. Indexed cost of acquisition. So let's indexed cost of acquisition. Okay, so now, so what is the purchase price here? Here they have given residential house on 1st January 2011 for rupees 32,000. Okay, so now here 32,000. And when it was sold 2019. So what is the formula? Cost into CII for the year of sale divided by CII for the year of purchase. So now here what is the CII for the year of sale? That is 2018-19. So for the 2018-19 the CII is 280, right? So 280 divided by the CII for the year of purchase. So when it was purchased in the year 2011. So for 2011, 1011, CII is 167. Okay, so if we compute this, the amount we will get is 53,988. Okay, so now this minus this, we will get 1,28,400. Okay, so 1,28,400. So now this is the capital gain before the exemption. So for the capital asset residential house, okay, so what is the exemption allowance is given, right? So if you have purchased any new residential house, you are eligible to get the exemption under section 54B. So now here we have to check, has he purchased any new residential house? Here we can see he has purchased a new residential house for rupees 40,000. Yes, he has purchased a new residential house and that qualifies for the exemption. So now here we can write less exemption under section 54. That is cost of new residential house. Okay, so cost of new residential house is 40,000. So total value we will get is 88,400. The same thing we can write it here, 88. Capital asset, that is residential house. Okay, so we will move on to the next one. Okay, so this is next we can see self-cultivated agricultural land purchased on 1st January 2010 for rupees 1,50,000 and was sold, okay, on 1st February 2019. So it was purchased in the year 2010 and it was sold in the year 2019. So definitely it is a long-term capital asset. So we will write it here, second one. Sale proceeds of agricultural land okay, so the value is 3,55,784. Okay, so now for this indexed cost of acquisition, so let's indexed cost of acquisition. So now here what is the purchase price? It was purchased for rupees 1 lakh. So cost is 1,50,000 into CII for the year of sale. Okay, so when it was sold in the year 2019. So for 2018-19 the CII is 280. So that has to be written here, 280 divided by cost of acquisition and year of acquisition when it was purchased in the year 2010, and for that the CII would be 148. Okay, so now here we can see it was purchased okay in the year 2010. Okay, so usually the financial year would be from okay 1st April to 31st March. Okay, so now here don't get confused when 10 and 11 whether to this one. Okay, check the month. Okay, in which month it was purchased or sold. So now here we can see here it was purchased February 2010. So what is the financial 2009-10 means what? 2009 will start from 1st April and 2010 will end on 31st March. Right? So now here it was purchased in January. So this. And now this 2010-11 means what? This 2010 will start from 1st April. Right? So 2010 when it is given, check the month when it was purchased or sold. Right, so if it is purchased before 31st March, then take year 2009 and 10. If it is purchased after 1st April, then take 2010 and 11. Okay, this minus this, we will get 72,000. Okay, so again for this capital asset we need to check whether are there any exemptions okay available under this particular capital asset. So now we have to check whether he has purchased any new agricultural land, right? So now here we can check purchased a new residential house, deposited rupees 50,000, other taxable income is this. Okay, so here we can see okay the sale proceeds. Okay, so deposited rupees 50,000 in a specified bank out of sale proceeds of agricultural land. It is given in the problem. Okay, so once again I am writing it here. So now here whatever he sold, okay, out of that 50,000 he has deposited in a specified bank account, and definitely that will qualify for the exemption. So now here we can write less exemption under section 50. The amount deposited in a specified bank account. Okay, so the amount deposited in a specified bank account is rupees 50,000. So now 72,000 minus 50,000, 22,000. Okay, so here this is long-term capital gain. So now we'll check up the next capital asset. Block of asset, machinery. March 2019. So now it was purchased in the year 2018 and it was sold in the year 2019. So means which is held for less than 36 months. Okay, if it is held for less than 36 months, it is short-term capital gain. So now here what we can do, here in this table we can prepare only long-term capital gain, and short-term capital gain we can show it separately. Right. So here I will prepare one more chart or one more table over here. Okay, so later we can prepare that. So now let us take long-term capital asset, what all we have. So now here, February 2019. So it was purchased in the year 2012 and it was sold in the year 2019. Right, so definitely it is held for more than 36 months. So it comes under long-term capital gain. Okay, so now here, third category I will write sale proceeds of shares. Okay, so the sale proceeds is 49,383. Okay, so now we have to do the cost of acquisition less index cost of acquisition. So now here the purchase cost we need to check. So this particular share of Jute Company Limited was purchased for rupees 19,900, okay, on 2012. So 19,900 is the cost into CII for the year of sale. Okay, first we need to consider that is year of sale is 2019. So CII corresponding to 2019 is 280. So 280 divided by CII for the year of acquisition or for the year of purchase. So when it was purchased, right? So now here for the 2012 it is 184 CII. So when we compute this, we will get the amount 30,000. Okay, so the long-term capital gain that we will get is 19,000. Right, so here I will write it as long-term capital gain. Okay, so now these three assets are under long-term capital gain. Now we will prepare one more chart which shows, okay, the assets which are only for short-term capital gain. Okay, so now here okay, so here I will write the same thing. If you want, you can show it together also, mixed, but it will be more clear when we separately write the long-term and short-term capital. So here I will write the next 1/4 short-term capital gain. now we will take up the assets which are held for less than 36 months. Here we can a residential house of the cost of it is 13. March 2019. So we can count the number of days. Okay, so he has held for 2013. Okay, so now here we can write sale proceeds of the let out house okay, that is 1,50,000. Right? The cost of acquisition, sorry, here the year is, okay, so here when we say it comes to less than 3 years, okay, so next one thing we have to remember is that, so if it is for a short term capital, okay, we don't have to index it, right, we don't deduct the indexed cost of acquisition. So now this indexed cost of acquisition, this calculation is done only for the long term capital gain. Okay, so this one thing you'll have to remember, this indexing is done only for the long term capital asset. So for the short term capital assets, this indexing will not be done. Okay, so now here as it is used for less than 36 months, okay, so we don't have to index it. So directly deduct the cost of acquisition. So what is the cost of acquisition of this particular asset? So here we can see 70,000. So here 70,000. So here this is called as short-term capital gain. Short-term capital gain, and let us check how many assets other we have, okay, under short-term capital asset. Here we can see March is for less than 36 months, it has to be recorded under short-term capital. Okay, so here we can write sale proceeds of machine. That is 12,000. Then deduct, okay, as we know it is short-term capital asset, we don't have to do the indexing for this. Directly we can deduct the written down value of the asset. So let's written down first April 2000. 48,000. So the amount comes to here 2,000. So this 2,000 is nothing but short term. Right? So let us check, are there any other transactions need to be entered. So since we have taken residential house, it is considered deposited 50,000, this one is considered other taxable income amounts to rupees 48,000. Even this has to be recorded. Okay, so now what we will do, first we will add the total short-term capital gain, long-term capital gain, and then together we will show the gross total income. So now we will add this total that comes to 1,20,000. This is total taxable long-term capital gain. Okay, in the same way we will add the short-term capital. Right? So now we will show the total income, okay, summary. So summary of income, first we will write capital gain, that is long term. So the long term capital gain is 1,29,000. Next, capital gain, which is short term, that is 80. Okay, and next other taxable income, that is 48,000. Add this, total we will get 2,59,500. This is nothing but what? This is the gross total income. Okay, I hope it is clear now, okay, what we have done. So one thing things to remember while solving this problem is that the first thing you'll have to read the dates, okay, the purchase date and the selling date. So if it is held for more than 36 months, it is a long-term capital asset and indexing has to be done for that. If it is held for less than 36 months, it is a short-term capital asset. In that case, you don't have to do the indexation, one thing. Second thing is that, okay, you'll have to remember whether these capital assets do qualify for any of the exemption, okay, under section 54. So what are the entries or what are the relaxation is given, okay, given for the exemption. One thing is that if you have purchased any new residential house, Okay, it will qualify for the exemption. Second thing is that if the assessee has purchased any new agricultural land, even that will qualify for the exemption. Third thing, any amount out of sale proceeds, okay, out of sale proceeds, if it is deposited in a specified bank account, even that will qualify for the exemption. Okay, so these are the three kinds of, okay, income which will qualify for the exemption, okay, under section 54. Even that has to be, okay, considered while solving the problem. So now here we can see, okay, so different various assets are given. Residential house. So here we have written sale proceeds of the residential house. Okay, so that is 1,82,000, the amount we have written. Since it is long term, we have to do the cost of indexation, that is indexing. Okay, indexed cost of acquisition. So indexed cost of acquisition. So here the purchase cost into CII for the year of sale divided by CII for the year of purchase. So this is very important. Remember, CII for the year of sale, okay, on the numerator, and CII for the year of purchase on the denominator, right? And here, since this particular property, that is capital asset, okay, has a purchase of new particular asset house, so it qualifies for the exemption. So that we have deducted. Fine. Next, moving on to the next kind of asset, that is agricultural land. So here it is given sale proceeds of the agricultural land, and then indexation has to be done. Same, the purchase cost into CII for the year of sale divided by CII for the year of purchase. Then we'll have to check, are there any incomes which qualify for the exemption. So now here in this problem it was given the amount out of sale proceeds, which is amounted to rupees 50,000, was deposited in a specified bank account, right? So now here deduct, okay, this one exemption, we will get that much as a long-term capital gain for agricultural land. Next, coming to next kind of capital asset is shares. So now here sale proceeds of the shares is written, and then since it is long-term capital gain, we'll have to do the indexation for this. So here the cost of purchase into CII for the year of sale divided by CII for the year of purchase, right? So indexing cost is this much, and we will get this as a long-term capital gain, right? So I have shown separately the long-term capital assets and short-term capital assets. Okay, it becomes very easy for the calculation as well as for understanding. So now here add all the long-term capital gains, so that amounts to 1,29,500. So coming to short-term capital asset, we have the sale proceeds of the let out of house. So one thing, as I have discussed earlier also, if it is short-term capital asset, we don't have to do the indexation, right? Indexing will not be done. So directly what we have done, deduct the cost of acquisition without indexing. So that comes to short-term capital gain amounted to rupees 80,000. In the same way, sale proceeds of the machinery. Okay, so we have written 12,000 and written down value as on, okay, 1st April 2018 was 10,000, that has to be deducted. Again, no indexation has to be done here, and the amount comes to 2,000, that is short-term capital gain. So this is total short-term capital gain. Now in the problem they have asked us to find out the gross total income, total gross, okay, income. So that has to be shown here. So we have taken his summary of income. So he has earned capital gain from long-term assets, this much, capital gain from short-term assets, that much, and then he has other taxable incomes as well. So together it comes to 2,59,500, that is his gross total income, nothing but what it is, his total taxable income. Okay, so now this is how we need to find out the income under capital gain. Okay, I hope now this problem is clear.